Hi, Michelle here and welcome to another Bloom in 5 here on YouTube. And today we are painting ground beetles, which is a super exciting subject because there's so many pretty colours and textures that we can use and build up some really pretty layers with our watercolour. So as you can see, we've got this really sweet scarlet lily beetle and I'm just painting this one with my Artify round brush. Currently in my studio, but it's freezing cold and the electrician has not come yet to fix the electrics that blew quite a while ago now. So I'm in my fur coat. So if you see a yellow fur coat, that is my coat, not a big massive jumper that I'm wearing, just to keep me a little bit warmer. And as you can see, I've moved on now to the older leaf beetle. So we're using some really pretty blue-green mixes here to build up the colour with our older leaf beetle. I am recording this full voiceover for my Patreon members, which the link is in my bio. So if you would like to see this in real time with full talk through, including all of the colours used, the sketch and reference images, then head over to my Patreon. And I also have lots for free members as well, like voting, behind the scenes and little bits like that. So it'd be great if you joined us over there. You are most welcome. So we are moving on now to the golden ground beetle, and as you can see, this is more of a green beetle. Even though it's called a golden ground beetle, there's a little bit of that ochre and brown mixed in to add those golden elements, but overall it's more of a greeny beetle, which I found the name quite intriguing. So if you know why it's called the golden ground beetle, then do let me know in the comments. Then we're moving on to the Texas click beetle, which is a predominantly grey and black beetle with little spots on the back, which we do later on once our first layer of paint is dry. And I'm just using the tip of the brush to create some of those legs. I have quite a good point on my brush. This is an Artify 8 round. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but it's got a really nice point on it for doing some thinner details as well, or you can always switch down to a smaller brush if you want some more detail. And finally, we've moved on to this cute rainbow beetle. This is one of my favourite ones, and it's called a dead nettle leaf beetle if you wanted to look that one up. And as you can see, we've got some really nice colours throughout the beetle. It's darker towards the back, but the middle and the top section have some really lovely colours through it, some yellow, reds and greens and pinks. So we've included that in our painting, and then we've now allowed our first beetle, which is our scarlet lily beetle, to dry. So we're now going back on our second layer for this one, adding in some deeper reds, using a pretty red and ultramarine mix just to darken that red slightly. And we're adding a little bit of black detail now around some of the details of the beetle where there's like crevices, and also adding in the antenna and the black for the sort of facial area of the beetle. I'm not sure on the specific names of all the parts of the beetle, but as you can see, this is the front area and also the legs. So it's really sweet how they have these different proportions to the legs, with the thicker areas and the thinner areas, and some of the little points near the feet, I'm guessing for gripping onto walls and things like that. So it's very interesting, and I always feel like I learn something new doing these new subjects, and it's good fun. We recently came back from Mallorca, so I have a lot of this included on my Patreon of watercolours that I completed out there, and a few reference images, and also just images that you can use for your own paintings, like pretty landscapes and some flowers, and they are all over on my Patreon. And there was a lot of interesting beetles actually that the boys spotted and enjoyed watching, slightly different to ones that we have here in England, so that was good fun. So as you can see, we've moved now over to our older leaf beetle, and it's got this really pretty speckled shell. So these really nice textures that we can get in using the tip of the brush, creating a really pretty speckled look. And this allows the lighter colour underneath our first layer to show through. So make sure that layer is completely dry before you add the speckled details. Otherwise it will just blur into it and you won't get that nice defined speckle look that we have going on here. So we're now using black, and we're just completing the feet. Sometimes it's nice to create more of a grey layer first, and then you can add a little bit more black, deep black, with that definition onto the legs and antennae, and a bit more into the beetle as well. Then we're going to use our smaller brush and add a nice deep green to the back of the golden ground beetle. and we're just allowing again those layers to shine through underneath to create a little bit of that gloss over and a little bit of shine in the back of those beetles. And we're really adding in the depth now and adding in some darker colours and some varying greens to really help create that curve of the beetle, and adding a bit of a deeper ochre brown mix round the outside of the beetle as well, and a little bit more of that golden colour on the back of the beetle, even though I still feel like it's predominantly a green beetle. But there we go. Adding a bit more to the antennae as well, and even the antennae vary quite a little bit between the different beetles. This one had more rounded tips compared to the scarlet lily beetle that had more spiky tips in between the antennae sections. So these interesting details really help capture the elements of your individual beetle style. And some of the images, the reference images, which I tried to pick the best ones possible, but sometimes the legs are a little bit blurred and we have to use our imagination to duplicate and create a bit of symmetry in the legs for some of the details that we can't see in the reference images. So that's what happened in this one. And we're going to allow that layer to dry, and we're going to move straight over to our Texas click beetle again. And as you can see, we're just building up that darker layer now, adding in some of those pretty details on the back, the speckled details, the spots, and just building up that layer. I normally use my little mini iPad for, well, it's like a tablet for reference images, but unfortunately because we've only just got back from Mallorca, my tablet was not charged, so I'm using my phone. As you can see, that's peeking in and out on the left hand side, and I'm using that for reference, which is quite a bit smaller than my tablet, so it was a little bit more difficult to see. So you might see it popping in and out. That's just my phone for the reference images. And I'm just adding in these final details, and you can see the shape of the beetle is really coming to life. I had a little oops moment there where I accidentally smudged it, because you know I can be quite clumsy. So now we're moving on to my favourite beetle, the dead nettle leaf beetle, and we're really adding that shape now and that definition to the back. Those colours are really starting to pop, and we're adding in an extra layer, and also this really pretty deep burgundy, which helps create that really nice form of the beetle on the shell, and adding in a lot of speckled detail as well, because it's got some really pretty texture. So this beetle is great for colour and the form, really nice rounded shape, and it also has texture. So there's a lot going on in this one, and again it has slightly different antennae to the other ones. They're slightly shorter, rounder little loops, so that was interesting to paint as well. And we've left some little white highlights on the antennae, and then again going in with a darker mix again just to accentuate that curve at the back of the beetle where it's a little bit more shadowed, and using the tip of the brush to create that really pretty fine texture. And you can see from where we started on our second layer, this has really come to life. So we're going to allow that layer to dry, and we're moving back over to our scarlet lily beetle. Again, I had a little oops moment where my finger caught the golden ground beetle and it just tapped onto the paper there, but I've cleaned that up for display purposes. So if I was creating these for clip art, then it wouldn't matter too much because I would cut these out on Photoshop. But unfortunately, obviously I need this for a pretty display, so I had to clean up any mistakes along the way. And you can see we've just done some little light washes over our spots, which really helps to create like a pretty texture effect, and also helps to create a sort of a beetle in action, if that makes sense, that the beetle is out and getting a bit dirty, he's got the sun on his back, and it seems a lot more realistic in the texture and detail on the back of the beetle. And then we've added a little bit more to our older leaf beetle, and then we're going to finish our final dark layer, allowing both of the first and second layer to poke through from the golden ground beetle, and you can see that's really darkened up nicely and really helped to create that pretty round detail. And this is what's so important if you're starting out in watercolor. You will have a few ugly stages that you need to work through, and it's important not to give up, because even recently in the last 6 months have started a picture, a painting, a sketch, and halfway through I've thought this is not what I imagined it to be, but I worked through till the end and I'm actually really pleased with the result. So it's important to push through and build up those layers and then judge it at the end when you've finished, because it's very hard to get a full picture and you can quite easily lose confidence in it. So always wait until you've finished it at the end for your final opinion. So you can see we've moved back over to our Texas Click Beetle, and we've really built up some of those pretty textures and colours. Even though this is a one colour beetle, it still is really popping off the page with the details. And we're just moving on to our last one now, my favourite one, the Dead Nettle Leaf Beetle. And do let me know which is your favourite in the comments, and if you're going to give any of these a go. Again, this is all on Patreon with a lot more detail. It's a real-time video with talk through, and all of the colours, the palette, the brushes, everything is included over there. So hopefully I will see you over there, and thank you so much for watching and joining me here on YouTube for another Bloom in Full. There are a lot more videos in this series if you'd like to watch.